Canada of $200 billion a year. They charge us, in many cases, 200 to 300% for dairy. Okay, Mexico is an example.
No, they do not. No, you're absolutely 100% wrong on the dairy. No. Your dairy thing is absolutely wrong.
You think this is my dairy thing?
Yes, this is not.
What Trump said in his speech.
Yes, Trump lied. There is not a single pint of milk
just like you lied
of dairy
about
that goes.
How many countries don't have people? Pretty sure India's got a couple people.
That dairy goes to Canada. We don't. If we sell a certain threshold, tariffs are applied, but we don't reach that threshold ever. There are not a dollar.
Probably because it's too damn expensive to access the marketplace.
No.
Anyway, I'm talking about the sweeping tariffs. You're talking about being a milkman. What I want to understand is, why don't you
don't
think...
care about any of the facts at all. It's
Sam,
hilarious.
Don't BS me.
No, it's hilarious.
I used to think
Google
like you.
Dairy. Google dairy
Sam,
tariffs to Canada.
Fuck your dairy.
You brought up dairy.
In today's video, Sam Seder absolutely destroys Patrick Bet-David in the heated debate on tariffs, and let me just say, it gets really intense. You'll see about Trump's so-called Liberation Day Tariffs. Sam comes in with receipts, breaking down exactly how these tariffs are hurting American consumers, tanking markets, and pushing us closer to economic instability. Meanwhile, Patrick throws out vague hypotheticals and deflects from the real data like he's auditioning for a Fox News panel, as Sam lays out the basic economic reality. Tariffs are just taxes on American consumers. Patrick retreats into what-if scenarios and MAGA talking points, completely ignoring the overwhelming evidence that these tariffs do more harm than good. So let's dive in and watch how Sam Seder shuts down Patrick Bet-David in this heated debate.
But you want to go... I'm giving one example. You want to have...
That's the only example you gave.
Auto industries, they're charging us 25%. We're now doing a minimum tax 10% across the board. So
minimum, but in other places, Vietnam,
Let me ask a simple question, though. So, the whole thing Adam just said, it could have been simplified to, we have around $1 trillion of trade deficits. Would you like to fix that?
Part of the reason why we have those trade deficits is because, A, we keep our dollar strong, B, because there are bigger customer bases in this country than in other countries. Our economy is based upon
we're helping
consumption.
Other countries' economy improve? Don't you think we have the leverage to ask more from them?
I think, again, I think tariffs work if there is a specific industry.
Yeah.
We saw this in the CHIPS Act, right? There were carrots and there were sticks in the CHIPS Act. We want to onshore chip production in this country, both for economic reasons, but also long-term national security reasons.
For example, for me...
And so what you do is you provide incentives and disincentives.
Have you ever negotiated a deal with anybody?
Well, I mean, yeah, I guess so.
You do. And are you a decent negotiator? Are you a bad negotiator? Are you a horrible negotiator? Where would you put yourself as a negotiator?
It depends on the context.
Okay. Do you try to find a way to negotiate where both sides win, like a fair negotiation?
Yes.
Okay. So this is Newsweek. It's a newspaper and outlet that's on the left. But Rob, if you can go all the way to the top, okay, this is a Newsweek outlet. So full list of countries of reciprocal tariffs. This is from today, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
April
Yesterday
3rd.
It was updated today. Okay.
Yep.
Go a little bit low, Rob, if you could. So let's just kind of go, let's just start from the top and see what it says. So it talks about the Liberation Day. Great. Got it. Why it matters. Tariffs remain in place until U.S. narrows a 1.2 trade imbalance recorded last year. That means we're making others $1.2 trillion more than we're making. Okay, that's the imbalance. Okay, so this is Newsweek. The president said there was a
It means
baseline.
that we are buying more stuff from other places than they're buying from us.
Sure, yeah.
Because we have the biggest consumer engine in the world.
Sure.
So it would make sense.
But, okay, so if that's the argument, continue. Now then the next thing would be, hey, charge me the same thing I'm buying from you as you're buying from me. Let's keep that number the same number. Don't overcharge me for it. That is not a tough request that we're making. Go a little bit lower, Rob. Keep going. So the president's based on tariffs of 10% of all imports. Okay, great. According to a chart Trump held, you have 34% on Chinese imports, 20% on goods, European goods, all that'll come up when we go a little bit lower. That's the picture he's talking about. Keep going lower, Rob.
So it's ultimately going to be 54 plus another 10 on China.
Until we become reciprocal. Yes, the U.S. had an overall trade deficit of $918 in 2024, with the largest gaps coming from China, 295, EU, 235, Mexico, 172, Vietnam, 123. That's the numbers that we have there. Then Cambodia topped at a chart of 49% tariffs, followed by Madagascar, 47%, Sri Lanka, 44%, Vietnam, 46%. If these were the two countries you said they don't have people there, I think they got people there. So if we go a little bit lower, keep going. Here's a full list from Newsweek. China, tariffs charged to the U.S., 67%.
That's just not...
Us to them, 34%. EU, 39.
This is the list that the
We're at
White House
20.
put out. And
I
all
understand.
economists are
Newsweek-
looking at this and going, what are they
Newsweek
talking about?
Can fact check
Yeah, they're not
this.
going to put out false
Newsweek
information.
can fact check
Okay.
this. If not, that's Newsweek. You don't
The
believe in
President
fake
of the United
news.
States just held
you
up the
believe
thing.
in real news.
Now, Patrick's big pitch is that tariffs are just fair negotiating tactics. We're getting ripped off, so let's make other countries pay. Simple, right? Except it's not. Sam correctly pushes back, pointing out that tariffs are taxes we pay. When the US imposes a tariff on imports, it's not foreign governments footing the bill, it's American consumers and businesses. That's basic economics. A 2023 study from the Peterson Institute found that Trump's tariffs cost US consumers about $57 billion annually and disproportionately hit working class Americans. So while Patrick frames it like a power move, it's really just a tax hike in disguise. And this whole idea of reciprocity on tariffs sound nice in theory, but totally ignores how integrated global supply chains actually work. Slapping tariffs on Cambodia or Sri Lanka because they charge us more doesn't magically bring back jobs. It raises prices on clothes, electronics, and raw materials. Products made abroad because they're cheaper. Sam's argument reflects reality. If you want to fix trade imbalances, you don't use a sledgehammer like blanket tariffs. You invest in infrastructure, education, technology, and target industrial policy like the CHIPS Act to make American manufacturing competitive again.
So Taiwan, 64-32. Japan, 46-24. India, 52-26. Who the hell negotiate? Look at, by the way, each one of them is almost 2x. 26 times 2 is 52. 25 times 2 is 50. 36 times 2 is 72. 31 times 2 is 62, but they did 61. 32 times 2 is 64. Malaysia, 24-47. Go a little bit lower, Rob. 49-97. 10-10 UK were the same. So South Africa, 30-60. Brazil, 10-10. Bangladesh, 37-74. 2x. If these numbers are true, Sam, let's say somebody on the left, okay, fact checks this, and this is someone that's a person you respect. If these numbers are accurate, what do you say then?
I'm going to read from CNBC since you guys won't Google this. Many observers said the U.S. appeared to have divided the trade deficit by imports from a given country to arrive at tariff
Can you
rates
text
for
it to him so we
individual
can show it so the audience
countries.
can see it?
I
What's
just
the title of it? He'll
Google
pull it up.
CNBC. How did the U.S.
He has
arrive
it.
at its
It's right
tariff
there.
figures?
Go for it. We're not uncomfortable showing clips. Just
Okay.
say it, he'll pull it up. So which part do you want him to read?
Well, scroll down right there. Just number 2. Many observers said the U.S. appeared to have divided the trade deficit by imports from a given country to arrive at tariff rates for individual countries.
Many observers.
Such methodology doesn't
Observers,
necessarily align with conventional approach to calculate tariffs. I mean, they've just made up what the tariffs were.
No.
Sam.
Okay, maybe their methodology
Sam, but
is
let's
different,
do this.
but what are the actual tariffs?
This is my question, though.
Google the tariffs.
I actually want to know this here. Rob, you can ask Grok to fact check it. You can go under Charlie Kirk and just type in Grok, is this accurate, these numbers? You can go to ChatGPT, that's ran by Sam Altman, who is an enemy of Musk, and see what that one says. You can fact check both of them. This is all I want to ask you to see what's your credibility with being able to reason. If those are correct, that they are charging us more taxes than we are, what do you think is the right thing to happen? If those numbers are correct.
I think we should look at what industries we want to build in this country. Car industry, let's say. Let's say we want to build solar panels, which is one that I would choose. Just as an example, we could go down the list, right? And I would also look at like, okay, what regions do we have in this country that need more jobs, more manufacturing? And then I would target tariffs, not necessarily on the whole country that's coming in, but I would target on those products coming from a given country, because that is what is called a plan.
Does it matter
as
what
opposed
the
to this
product
buckshot?
is? No,
Absolutely.
So you're willing to pay more you're willing to allow the other person to tax you more for a product you're buying than you're doing it to them. Who needs who more?
They're not. They're not taxing me.
But hang on a second. The reciprocal tariff is simple. It's saying if you charge me an additional 30, let's match it. I'll do 30 as well.
The point is that when let's say China has a 50% tariff on our cars.
Yes.
Okay. And they do that because they want to build their car industry. It is not going to create inflation in China because they have such a high tariff on our cars.
Patrick tries to hammer home this idea that we're being ripped off by countries like China, Japan, and India simply because their tariffs on American goods are higher than ours on theirs. His pitch: just match their tariffs. What could be more fair than that? But Sam's response cuts through the noise. This isn't a game of symmetrical numbers. Just because another country taxes our imports more doesn't mean the answer is to spike prices on our own people. That's what a tariff is. A tax on imports we pay. If you jack up tariffs across the board without a plan, you're not sticking it to foreign countries. You're raising prices at Walmart, Target, and Costco. Sam also offers something Patrick doesn't: a plan. He's not saying the US shouldn't be strategic about trade. He's saying tariffs should be targeted, thoughtful, and used to build critical industries like solar energy or EVs. And they should be implemented in a way that supports American workers without tanking the broader economy or sparking retaliatory tariffs from our allies. Meanwhile, Patrick's entire argument boils down to "we're losing, fight back with tariffs," but he doesn't acknowledge the long-term impact. Trump's previous tariffs didn't bring back massive jobs. In fact, a 2019 study from the New York Fed found they cost US consumers and businesses about $3 billion a month. Manufacturing growth slowed under Trump, and key industries like agriculture suffered from retaliatory tariffs.
We may have, and certainly by we mean corporate America,
politicians,
and maybe
not corporate America.
It's corporate America.
It's politicians.
Listen,
I
saw in the 90s like how corporate America was so freaked out by Tiananmen Square. But I'm telling you,
my question is, if that's accurate, if those numbers are accurate, that we're being charged more.
I'm not going to punish the American people with a regressive tax because you have some elementary school notion of fairness.
Elementary school. Here
Honestly.
we go. If those are true, okay, on them charging us more, would you sit there and support?
They're charging more for our products to get in there.
Do you think it's fair for us to pay twice as much as we're charging them? Do you think that's fair?
I don't think that fairness has anything to do with it.
What's you're the fair American You're the one that claims you're a fair guy.
What's best for the American public?
Okay, so let me ask another question.
I would ask.
Who needs who more? Does YouTube need you, or do you need YouTube?
I probably need YouTube.
Why do you need YouTube more?
Because they have a lot of other people they can go to.
Oh, thank you. Who needs who more? America? Do you need the American customers, or do we need Bangladesh? Who needs who more?
We better hope that a lot of these countries don't. I mean, Canada is starting to develop a different relationship with China. I mean, this is going to ruin a lot of...
It's going to bring jobs to America. This is why Apple said, I'm investing $500 billion here. This is why the
CHIPS Act.
UAE said $1.4 trillion. This is why Saudi said $600 billion. This is why all these companies said hundreds of billions.
From your mouth to God's ear.
But why are they saying that, though? Why are they saying that?
I hope this goes well.
But why do you think? Why did Rolls-Royce say we're going to move our different plants that we have from Mexico, Canada, and China to U.S.? Why are they saying that? Why are they saying that? These are jobs for your American people that are not getting paid. Trump's trying to get those people jobs. Why don't you support it?
There may be some benefit in terms of like manufacturing, but overall, you're going to have a regressive tax on Americans.
Again, Patrick keeps going on about fairness, asking if it's fair for countries like Bangladesh or China to charge us higher tariffs than we charge them. But Sam hits the core issue. Fairness doesn't equal smart policy. The real question is what benefits everyday Americans, and jacking up prices on imports across the board doesn't do that. When you slap a 60% tariff on goods from countries like Vietnam or Sri Lanka, it doesn't hurt elites, it hurts regular people trying to buy affordable clothes, electronics, or groceries. Studies back this up. The Peterson Institute for International Economics found that the Trump-era tariffs cost U.S. households up to $1,300 more per year. Not exactly a win for America first. Plus, let's not forget, tariff wars spark retaliation. When the US imposes blanket tariffs, other countries respond with their own. That's exactly what happened under Trump 1.0. China slapped tariffs on US agriculture, hurting American farmers. The trade deficit didn't shrink significantly, and many of the promised jobs never came back. Sam's main point stands strong. If you want to bring jobs home, targeted industrial policy works better than a broad brush trade war. Subsidize key sectors, invest in green manufacturing, use smart strategic tariffs, not across-the-board hikes that punish working-class Americans more than anyone. Pause. Are you getting tired of getting half the story from biased news sources? One outlet says one thing and another says the complete opposite. How are you supposed to know what's actually true? That's where ground news comes in. It lets you compare how different media outlets, left, right, and center are covering the same story. So you can see the full picture instead of just the echo chamber. And here's the best part. Click the link in the description and get 40% off the Vantage tier, which gives you even deeper insights into media bias and political trends. Stay informed, think for yourself, and check out ground news in the description down below.